Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes, change your life. Heichaltzu. I was at a wedding last night, and I was speaking to someone. I met some guy, and I was talking to him about Heichaltzu, and he's like, "Oh, you're learning Heichaltzu? Yeah, I must be learning it." And he's further along than we are, and he was saying how he finds it like hard, like to have obviously strong. Meaning he wasn't like a rough person, but I don't know. He was like a very. I think maybe he was just overly thinking it. Yeah. So we get into the whole discussion about bittul, and how there's another guy was there. He was saying that he realized he should have bittul, but it's hard. And he doesn't really want it. And so we're discussing it. Whatever. Very interesting. So we're after the page 69, the 9th parak. We're getting in there. We're nearly halfway, and we're going to be talking a lot about in practical terms what's going on. So yeah, remember in last parak we're talking about the difference between toyu and tikkun, and yeshus and bittul, and the rest in shuv. That even though in toyu it had this desire to get close to God, but it was sort of its own desire to get close to God, and ultimately that caused the shiras again, and it came down and breaking the vessels. And the yeshus, when we have yeshus, it separates us, and it's baseless, and it causes baseless hatred. That's essentially what we're talking about. Test. Page 69, top of the page. In the previous chapter, the Rebbe Rashab explained how yeshus can lead to division, friction, and strife. In this chapter, he develops that theme, outlining the extent to which such negative feelings can spiral. So now he's going to discuss them all in it's going to be big for rain here. This is also the reason this is why also it gets worse. It's like grows, or it springs up between a person and his friend without any real reason. You just can't stand the person. Love. Look at the person only in the negative. Until he looks disparagingly at everything the person has, even the good parts. And this is sort of what I've discussed in the past. And between your friends and the person you don't like is what you focus on. Everyone has things that they're good at, and they're doing good, and things that they need to work on. But when it's your friend, you focus on those positive things, and the negative thing you don't even pay attention. Whereas when it's someone that's not your friend, it's the opposite. You focus on the opposite. And you put down the person that you don't like. He's Torah mitzvahs that he does. So even though he's doing Torah mitzvahs, which is a great thing, you're putting it down. And even though this person hasn't done anything wrong to you, so why do you hate him? Why are you doing this? Why do you think of them negatively? And it is not that he even has a plan of doing something to harm the person. Meaning, it's not like you're actually going to say something to the person or practically do something, just how you feel in your heart. But there's no real reason for this. And this is what it means, what it says in the pasuk. My brothers that hate me, that hate you, have said. It's an interesting way of the pasuk. Amru said, Achechem, your brothers, Tzeinechem, those who hate you. So what does it mean? Brothers is normally connotation with something positive. Hating is negative. What's going on here? And he explains, your brothers are your enemies. What does that mean? What's an ach? It's a connection. Your brother, we're connected. We're brothers. I know. Even when there's nothing that actually separates us, meaning there's no reason for the separation. That's how we're called brothers. Lashen, ichus, the chibur, which is abundant closeness. Nevertheless, what happens? But they hate for no good reason. You just can't stand them. No real reason. I just can't stand you. And therefore you don't like the person, you don't like what he gains. If something good happens to them, you're not happy with it. And you sort of, it's like, we'll read more and we'll just bring more about it. On the other hand, and God forbid, you're happy when something doesn't work out for them. They fall, it's like you laugh, you fall, you're happy. You don't want to see them succeed. But even if you're not going to laugh at them, but you're not going to be pained, it's like something happens to a person, you're like, or deserves it. Why? How do you say such a thing? Because and sort of before we continue, because this is a very interesting right. And a lot of times we say ourselves like, I'm not like this, and I don't think we are to the fullest extent. But I think deep down there's different levels of this. Some people like bother us, or people that are just like, and you think about it like there's no real reason. It's like why? And we might give excuses, like we talked before. I might give excuses, but they're not the real reason. That's just the excuses we've given to ourselves after the fact. Because essentially why they bother us is because we're very yeshus in a way, and we're taking up a lot of space. And what he's saying here, and it's sort of the problem, and that leads to all these issues. And the person bothers you, and then you're happy when it doesn't work out for them, and this is such a not nice thing, In truth, because he says in truth, how should it be? It should pain us when someone else has something bad happen to them, more than what happens to ourselves. Now you're gonna ask yourself, what do you mean? How can it bother me? How can I be pained by someone else's issues and what happens to them more than my own? If I hear someone else, something happens to them, they lost their job or something like this, it should bother me more than it bothers me than my own job of being lost. Why? Because was for yourself. Because you know yourself, and you could recognize that probably you're deserving of it. You're not behaving the way you're meant to be doing, or you did something wrong, and this is sort of a cleansing process. So you understand within yourself, what's going on, and all the little details that not necessarily anyone else knows. Like the Rabbi say, Roya Adam, Sheisurim Bayim Allah. If a person sees that he's getting trouble's coming upon him, if he should check into his deeds and see what's going on, see what's lacking. There's a shliach, right? I heard he said that whenever there's an issue going on in shlichus or something, or anything in life, the first thing he does is he does this. He he thinks about what's going on, what could he be doing better, or what is he lacking, and how can he work on it. And when you really do this, a true accounting of what's going on, you must be saying for sure you'll find the reason, not necessarily the reason, like I know the reason, but you'll find something you can be working on, and sort of like this is God's sort of waking you up. Or you can, or if not anything else, you just say, I just wasted my time, I wasted my days, bittul Torah. So therefore you're not going to be pained. You say, why is it happening to me? Go, what's happening to me? What do you mean? I know why it's happening to me. But I'm not behaving the way I should be. I need to work on myself. So Adrabah, Yikablim Ava, Shizet Tickle and Nafshe, and even more, it'll make you happy because you realize this is refining yourself, this is cleaning yourself up. And therefore, it's better to be clean. It's like so to be going to the dentist. It's scary, uncomfortable, but it's there to clean your teeth. If you don't do that, it's a lot worse. And so too, you feel the same way. It's like, I don't like this necessarily, but hey, it's better I have this now. It's like there's a story about this tzaddik. They were really poor. I can't remember his name now. And he's always complaining. It's like we're desperate over here. We have nothing. So he said, if you really want, I can help us out. So she's like, yeah, I really want. And then he went out of something and he came back with a golden leg. And so she's like, oh, amazing. I have this golden chair, like a leg of the chair, great, I can sell this and make so much money, it'll be good. And as she was about to leave to go sell it, she's like, one second, where did this come from? So he said, this is from the schar in Elam Hava, in Gan Eden. And so she was like, no, I don't want to. So that's what he's saying here, that it won't bother us, and we'll realize that I'd rather get punishment here than in Olam Haba, but that's a lot worse. And you feel it's fixing you. Aval, that's all about you and how you should look at your own situations and how you shouldn't feel as bad when something bad happens to you, and you should realize all these things. But when it comes to someone else, you can't do that. You can't say this. You can't say, hey, he deserves it. It's good. It fixed you up. Check. You positive myself. Check how you're doing. You must be doing something wrong. That's why he deserves it. You can't say that. That's how can you say that? Because our job is to look at every single person as for sure he's good. And for sure he's good in everything. And for sure he's not deserving such things. But you shouldn't judge the way you see yourself like them. That's not how you should do it. Because for sure that other person, this is how you meant to look at it. For sure that other person is good, he's better than me. But is called Adam, and you have to judge everyone in merit. So you have to look at everyone good. So for sure you feel bad for him. Why is he getting this? It doesn't make sense. And you cry out to God, why are we doing this to him? And that's the most beautiful thing. It's very beautiful what he's saying here, that you have to look at someone else with a good eye, and yourself you can be critical. Not in a negative way, but you can critical in the sense that, like, I get why it's happening, or let me see why this is happening to me. Or someone else, you can't say that. Let me see why it's happening, why that happened to him. Or must be, people give reasons why bad things happen to other people. What are you giving reasons for? You don't know. Your job is to say there must be good people. For sure, they're not deserving of it. And I don't understand why this is happening. And let's say, then automatically, you have to be pained by the pain of your friend, by what's happening to your friends. And his Israel. And that's the healthy way to care about someone. When you see something bad happening to them, you care for them, you feel for them. And you really do more than you feel for your own issues. When it comes to your own issues, you understand it, or you should be able to understand it, or you can analyze it and recognize that I'm deserving of it. Not in a bad way, but in a way that's going to fix me up now, so it'll be better later. But when it comes to someone else, you have to look at them and feel bad for them, really care for them. You say, it's how can I help? You should ask mercy from God on this person. We'll skip the brackets. Aval, but that's how it should be. You should care about someone. It's beautiful. Imagine thinking about other people this way. Imagine taking someone that you think about now in not the best of lights and thinking about them in this way. Aval, what happens, like we said before, it doesn't bother you at all. And even more, you're happy, like we said before. I'm happy to see them going down. It's good. What happens then? Sinas, because you hate them. For no good reason. They didn't do anything to deserve this hatred. It's crazy. If you ever feel like justified, or you see something happen not good to another person, another yid, and it doesn't bother us, it doesn't pain us, it's a problem. Let's go to the brackets. And what happens if in truth, he's not good, they're not doing the right thing, there's a ganav or something like this. Chas v'shalom. So what do? You take the person to the side privately and you have a conversation with them. And you should explain to them, you should tell them in a nice way and admonish them what they're doing. That's not good. And then you return to Hashem. And Hashem's anger will be turned away from them. So he's saying, even if they're doing something wrong, you're going to say, what do you mean by they're doing something wrong? It doesn't mean you should be happy. It means you should care for them. And you should have the guts to come and to speak to them out of a place of care and concern, and say and help them and say, listen, I care about you. So I need to talk to you about this, because what you're doing is not good for yourself. It's not good. And it's destroying things, and it's hurting people, and it's hurting yourself, and you're hurting your family, whatever it is, and speak to them. But that's all coming from a place of love. This whole thing, if you see it, it's all coming from a loving place. Yeah, it's beautiful. A kitzur. Sinas, chinam, mevi, she'ene, mishtate, besimchas, chavere, ubetzare. Sinas, chinam, basis hatred causes. You don't join in the person's simcha. You go to a wedding. A lot of wedding last night. You go to a wedding. You jump. Your job is to be happy for them. So when you don't like someone, you can't be happy for them. You don't jump in that happiness. And also when something bad happens, you're like happy that it's happening. That's not good. The surah atzmai, when it comes to your own issues, own things that are happening to you that are not good, you can justify why God is doing this to you and why it's happening. But when it comes to your friend, someone else, you have to judge them favorably. It reminds me a story that they one time asked Simon Jacobson's mother. They said, they have, I don't know, 7 kids or something, and they interviewed her. I don't know, like who interviewed her. It wasn't like I don't think it was a Jewish place. And they said, "How can you have so much love for so many kids? Like you have so many kids, 7 kids. How can you have so much love?" Meaning, the question was, they look at love as like a mathematical equation. You have 100% love. Now you have one kid gets 100%. You have 2 kids, 50%. And 4 kids, 25%. So they're asking, 1 second, if you have 7 kids, every kid's getting so little love. So she was like confused by the question. Like, what do you mean? They all get 100%. Like, I think this is very much what we're talking about. Because what Ava, true love, I'm not talking about love like I love fish and I love burgers and I love chocolate and ice cream. You don't love it. You love the taste and what it does for you. Love, the bittul type of love, that I love the connection that we build. So then you can give 100% to everything. So he's saying when it comes to someone else, you should be pained by it more than your own pain. And you see here how it's possible. Because when it comes to your own things, you have to be honest with yourself. When you come to them, you're not the judge. You can't decide that they deserve it. Your job is to care about them and try to help them. Whether it's davening for them or whether it's, if you really know that there's something wrong, is to care about them enough and have the bittul enough to put your ego aside and come to them in an honest way and say, come, I want to help you. We need to discuss things. And that's what we're doing. But in the negative, we should never judge people, and we should never look at them negatively. And we should change it. We should care for them. And this is how it's meant to be. It's beautiful, beautiful job, though.